1, 2, 3, 4, down to the VHS, VHS, out of the VHS. It's the 18 of my big stuff, cause I was out of the house and doing stuff. No easy Wi-Fi blemishes, but I guess that's the way it goes. Down to the VHS, VHS, out of the VHS. Got no money, smoking crack, saving up for the Betamax. Down to the VHS, VHS, out of the VHS.
Hello, I gotta get in here more. Hey,
And welcome to Obscure Tape Time, the show where we watch VHS tapes in their entirety and invite you to suffer along with us.
from start to finish.
Hey, what you been up to all since last episode?
Well, that was only a week this time.
Oh, God.
Surprisingly little. Yeah, no, just working.
Just working, nothing's popped up.
Nah, not really.
Cool.
about you?
I went out. I caught the train on a Saturday, I think, Saturday night to Geelong. I caught the train to Geelong.
That's
And
a
when-
place to go.
Yeah, I went to beer festival and drank too many beers.
The beer festival.
And then Sky drove me home drunk. And it was a good night. And yeah, so I took other means of transport other than my car because my car is still in the goddamn mechanics. So I focused on car things for this episode of Tape Time. I brought some show and tell first. This one says Dry Hops, which I think is a restaurant chain, like a beer chain, sort
right.
of. Yeah, pub chain in America. Kind of like Hooters, so it's like all sports cars and like flashy stuff. You go there, you buy your wings.
Sounds very American.
But it says Nitro Funny Cars. I told you to name the episode that because that's funny. Funny Cars. Yeah, but the actual video itself is boring. It's crap. If you want to watch it, I'll put it up on the copyright machine soon. But it is there as an emergency, just in case. I don't know how long this one's going to go for, or if it's going to work. This is Top Cat Body Repairs. This is done by people in Victoria. Teach you how to undent your car, which
Notice anything about the tape?
is very shiny.
It's sealed!
But it's sealed. How are we going to watch it if it's completely sealed? You want to do the unsealing?
I'd love to. If I
Yeah.
can get my nails in there.
Unseal that tape.
That
Unseal that tape.
90s plastic. Or the 2000s. Oh, Thornbury, my favourite place as well. Yeah, that's where the punk bar is.
Oh, nice.
And all those record shops.
You can get punk beer, watch a punk band, buy some records, and learn
It's
how to
open now.
do
Still
your
shiny.
own body repairs. Yeah, it's completely fresh new.
I can't get
Oh.
a punk beer anymore. I'm not allowed.
You can go there and smell it and watch the band.
Yeah, that's all I'd be able to do.
This still doesn't say how long it's going to go for.
But that is a lot of tape right there.
But there is a lot of tape, so we'll see how long this goes. Also, that's only a backup if there's not enough time to watch this other tape which I brought, which is a motoring magazine on VHS. But one of the parts we have to fast forward through if we do watch it, because it's one of those. I thought this one would have had heaps of copyrighted car footage, but this one went past the machine fine. This one threw up a big blocked
Oh.
on a bit. You can fast forward through that bit. Anyway, let's learn how to do our own body repairs on this fresh tape.
Easy, step-by-step body repairs video for beginners.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What was the budget on this, you reckon?
It came in its own shrink wrap.
$6.
I'd say that's one of those tapes that they sold for 50, and if they only sold like 10 of them, they made their money back.
I honestly reckon they probably got, like, government money.
Oh yeah.
Would be my guess.
I want to
Or
try
they,
and get some
you know,
government money soon.
worked with a, like, university student or something.
Yeah. Miss Pat's been talking about checking in on things like grants and stuff for us to look into.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's going to be much out there for what we do, unfortunately.
Historical preservation.
Top cat car cassette. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, let's be honest here. No one cares about this stuff. Nobody cares about this stuff. It's just us.
Government should give me money because I do and I'm on a disability.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Technically funded by the government.
However,
I like that graphic.
that is a cool graphic.
I do like the music. I know
With
someone
today's
else who might like
congested
that
roads,
music.
the chances of traffic accidents or damage to your car are increasing all the time.
Drongo and the Crow.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, like,
so is the
and
cost
stuff
of
like that.
repairs.
I recognize this voiceover guy.
Yeah, this isn't so obscure as we thought. They at least got the media company at the Melbourne place.
First, the toolkit. An inexpensive and serviceable panel beating kit can be purchased at
That's
numerous
me.
outlets.
Keep yawning. I'm not
The
even
most
that
useful
tired.
tools are
man.
the heel dolly,
The
so
cover made
named
it look
because
like
it's
it was
shaped
just
like the
kids
heel of a
telling us
shoe.
how to do it, but
And
this
the
is
pick
pro.
hammer.
This is
This
pro.
hammer has a flat face opposite a pointed pick-like end, which is used for tapping in those awkward high spots and edges where an ordinary hammer
And
face won't
lobotomies.
fit. Perhaps even more necessary than the pick hammer is the flipper. This tool looks just like a bent file. When you're working with large or flat
How you
panels,
doing, Apostrophe?
you'll find you'll use a flipper
Hope all
in
is
only
well, my
90% of
friend.
the time. Your panel beating kit
Glad
also
that you
contain
got
body
your power
springs of
back and all
various
that.
sizes. These are used where access is limited. A heavy hammer and a strong bar are necessities for most repairs.
You take the train
You'll
today.
need 2 or 3
No, I
pairs
drove.
of
I got
vice
the
grips
Commodore.
to hold things in place, especially when welding.
I just
and
don't wanna
whatever you
drive it
do,
very
don't
often.
forget
Yeah,
your
I get
safety
ya.
wear. A 2-speed
For
sander
obvious
polisher
reasons.
isn't
Yep.
very expensive, and you can't hope to make professional repairs without one.
I was going to say it's
Body
going to get hot
files
on
are
the way
used in
back.
some repairs.
Got leather
A
seats,
flat
but it's
file
also
for
got
larger,
aircon.
flatter areas. A banana file for more awkward
So it
shapes.
burns my butt, but then makes
An
me feel
orbital
good.
sander makes repair work easier and quicker. But if you haven't got one, a rubber sanding block and a bit more effort will do the
The
job.
two things aren't
Since
interchangeable.
most sanding is done dry, don't forget to wear a dust mask. Body filler is sanded using
A dust
36 grit
mask?
paper. Buy it pre-cut, and you'll find it exactly fits your orbital sander. Or cut it
Wow.
into 3, fits your sanding block. Some plastic applicators and a can of body filler are now
See,
all
there's
you
stuff
need
they
to
just
start
don't
work.
teach you when you go into the hardware store. They just try to sell you everything.
Rust is almost unavoidable.
Bring back the banjos.
The extent of the problem
Is that a
determines
banjo or
how
a banjolele?
repair should be carried out. This door,
If you'd
for
shut up
example,
for 3
has been
seconds, we might
repaired
be able to
before.
hear.
Now it's rusted again along its entire length. Nevertheless, we'll repair it once more and give it a couple of more years of life. Unless you plan to remove the door prior to repairing it, place 3 or 4 thicknesses of masking tape along the edges.
swear I'm not
closest
actually
to the
tired.
repair area. This guards against scratching during the sanding operation.
Oh. You tape that off.
Are you up to masking and stuff yet? With
Sorry?
your little painty
I
projects?
haven't really been doing much.
Oh.
I haven't really been motivated to. I need to
Okay.
get back into it.
Well, if you get into it before Halloween, that would be cool.
Of course I'll be into it
Use
by
a
then.
large
Like Halloween
sander
is
with a
probably going to be
24
like
grit
peak
disc
time.
and
So that's
sand
when
the
I
whole area.
print stuff for.
It's important
The
to leave
Halloween
enough
boxes I
space
give
between
away.
the paint edge
If I
and the
remember, I've
repair
got some
area
model painting
so that the
videos to
repair
us to
isn't
watch, but
damaged
they're
when
horror
you feather
models,
the
so I'm like,
edges
fuck,
prior
this
to
has to go
painting.
for Halloween.
Well, good. It's hard to get like good Halloween specials, you know.
I've actually got
One of
three
the
biggest
things.
painting.
mistakes people
This
make
year
when
coming
performing
up.
any body work is trying to localize the repair.
Spooky month.
Attempting to keep close to the dent or rust spot destroys your repair before you even start, due to the
Oh,
highs
booger.
and lows created by the paint edges.
Just my look.
Remember to keep the sander moving at
I'm
all
repairing me
times.
car.
If you stop at one
Knowing my
spot,
luck,
you'll
I'll just
overheat
make
the
it
metal
worse.
and risk warping and stretching the panel. If this happens, the end result will be worse than the damage you started with.
Why not just get a pro to do it then? Especially in the 90s. It was probably a lot cheaper then. Everything's expensive now.
Yeah. Price of living, they keep telling us. It's how much chicken costs, they say, and then they get billions of
Wire
dollars
welding
profit.
sheet metal requires experience and patience. Work stage by
So
stage,
not really for
a couple of
beginners then.
centimeters at a time.
What do you mean? You don't know how to do welding? We learned from that
The
welding
heat
for
produced
beginners
by
video we
welding
watched.
expands the central hotspot.
Yeah,
it needs
but
to be
You're meant
This
to be
looks pretty
osmosising
precision.
Still glowing
everything.
red.
This looks like very
Then
much
cool the
precision
area
work.
gently with a very wet
I'm gonna need a
sponge
lot
or
more
rag.
practice, like far beyond that of a beginner.
Wipe
Alright.
quickly across the panel until it's cool enough to
I'll
touch.
see if I can find some intermediate
Then
metal
carry on
working
welding
video.
using the same procedure until the job is completed. After resanding the welded patch,
I don't know
tap
about
in any
precision.
other rust
He's just
spots before
tapping
applying
stuff.
the body filler. If you don't have access to welding equipment, the whole repair can be done with body filler. Feel the panel
Oh
as you
man,
go,
if only we could
and
get
tap
an
in
old
any high
beaten up
spots
car,
or
we
rust
could just
spots, so
recreate
they're
the
slightly
entire
lower
video
than
but
the
use the
panel
same
surface.
voiceover. And just like fuck things right
Your
up.
sense of feel is just as important as your eyesight. Now, for the
damn.
finish of the job, you'll need to rely more
I
on
actually
your sense
did
of
something
feel
kind of
than
similar to
visual
that
assessment.
recently, but I'm not ready to show it yet.
Mixing body filler is a technique you should practice. Resist the urge to stir in the
I think
hardener.
pretty much
It should be
anything with a
folded in
voiceover like
until you've
this
attained a uniform
can be
color.
hilarious.
Of
This
course,
method
yeah.
eliminates air
I
bubbles
love
in the
the
mixture,
box video that you did
ensuring
like
a much
last
better
minute for
final
school.
result, with as few pinholes
Ah,
as
yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah. I would have failed if I didn't do that.
Yeah, but
I barely got a passing mark for it, too.
When applying
all
the
worked out in
filler,
the end
once
because you had
again,
a voiceover
don't try
like
to
this and it made me
localize the
happy.
job. Apply
Yeah,
filler to
I
the
like
whole
it. I think
area,
it's a good
keeping it
video.
as neat and flat as possible.
I was just surprised that
being sure to
I
work
like
it
only
into all
barely
the holes
passed
and
for
white
it.
spots.
like watching everybody else's. We sat down in class and we had to watch them all. And I just remember thinking like, you done, dogs? How the fuck did I barely pass when some of these got like high grades? And then I realized, oh, it's because this lecturer has like absolutely no
What's
fucking.
happened? Have we lost sound or are we just watching him smooth it out?
We just
Oh,
wa-
there it comes. We're just watching him smooth it out. Okay.
Is there someone at the door, or are you still gonna know?
After 15 to 30 minutes, it should be hard enough to sand.
Do we have to watch the
You should
whole
use
15 to 30
36
minutes?
grit paper,
Oh, no,
whether
it's
you're
not.
using an orbital sander or sanding by hand.
Nobody there.
Wow.
You shut up too. I have to start locking in the sign for it.
Sand as large an area as possible, lengthwise and diagonally.
I kind of like the long cuts.
Hand sanding is just as effective. It only requires a bit more effort. Feel the area with the flat of your hand as you go. You'll soon develop a feel for imperfections.
You could
and
use
high
an
and low spots,
electric
as
sander,
well as the
or do
natural
it by
weight of the
hand,
body.
or actually with just your hand.
However, no matter how expert you are in mixing and sanding body filler, it's impossible to get it right first time. You'll
Bullshit.
still find a couple of small low spots
perfect,
and a
I'm
number
different.
of pinholes after sanding. A second coat of filler is invariably needed. Once
Invariably.
again, don't try to localize the job. Apply another coat of filler over the same area as before, making sure you fill every pinhole and low spot. This eliminates problem areas that would ruin your refinishing.
Seems like a lot of work for, you know.
If we don't
someone-
have one of
It should be
those
finished
scrapers,
by
can we
hand,
use our wall
as
magic?
the orbital sander will not give you a perfectly flat finish.
Make it look like poop.
Can we just use our fingers?
Yeah, he was doing that before.
As in just
There you
to-
go.
We've now
There we-
finished the repair.
Look at
No,
him go.
he's sanding.
Achieving a
Yeah, now he's
perfectly
feeling
flat
for
surface.
imperfections.
No, he's sanding.
We've kept away
Do
from the
some
painting,
precision work along the
and it's
edges.
now ready for paint preparation.
Paint preparation. We got to do that undercover. Here we go. This is what I
Not a
wanted.
big repair, but a lot of parts have to be taken off before we can repair the panels. Let's get to work.
I hear the
When
puppy
you
in the
remove anything
background.
from a car that has to be replaced with new parts, make
We have
sure
one
you
of the
save all the
Volgos, yeah.
screws and clips.
Yeah.
Some manufacturers don't supply these items with their replacement parts. And if you use the
So
wrong
keep your
size or
old
shape of
screws.
screw in an indicator lens, for example, you could quite easily crack the lens and waste your
See,
money.
this is why everybody's dad's shed is full of boxes of screws, because sometimes you just don't get new ones. And then you have to go
That's it.
buy a whole box just for one
This
screw.
damage is in a particularly
Yeah.
awkward place, and we're going to need most of our tools to get it back
I'm
in
more
shape.
of a someone's
Remember,
job is to
on this
fix
type
this
of repair, you must restore the shape bit
kind
by
of
bit.
person. You know, it's not my
Start
job.
by bringing the nose across
got a
with your
dad
large
shed.
hammer and body spoon. Don't be afraid to use a bit of force here.
Without the good screw, we're
This
screwed.
is the strongest part of the guard, and it requires a lot of effort to guide it back the way you want it.
Did they
This
have any
repair
particularly
procedure
fun
applies
beers
to
at the
both
festival?
front and rear panels.
No, I was actually a little
These
bit
are the
disappointed
areas that
because
sustain
I
most minor damage.
thought I could
But
show
at the same
Sam
time,
some
are
of the,
usually the
like,
most
pizzas
difficult
and
to
stuff like
repair.
That
but-
pizza beer was fucking fantastic.
Removing the wheel allows
most of the
access
best
under
things
the
I
wheel
had
arch,
were
enabling
cherry
you to
porters.
use the large hammer and long bar
I always love a
to
cherry
bring the
porter.
pedal forward either side of the
but there were a
center
few
line.
good sour beers. Do you like sour beers aside from yeah? There were mangoes, passion
Don't try
fruits,
and
a lot
attain
of summery
your
fruits
shapes
this
in one
year.
go.
That seems to be
This
in
is a
fashion.
big mistake frequently made
Yeah,
by
makes
amateur
sense.
repairers.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of the hop waters as well, so tastes like you're drinking soda water, getting drunk.
Yeah, that's they're dangerous. I had some of those on the very last night I got
The
drunk.
nose is brought across with the body spoon as we go. Working bit by bit lessens the
Still
risk
miss
of
it, though.
overstretching the metal
Body
and the
spoon.
need for shrinking it
Sky
back into
turned
shape
up.
later.
Idiot got too much money for his own good. Came to the festival, didn't drink anything. Not because he wasn't gonna. He went around looking for the spirits because it said that they did have some, but they didn't bring enough, and everybody wanted
Oh.
spirits. And when he went around, everybody had sold out of spirits except for a couple of things he just wasn't interested in. He's like, "That's okay." He just sat with us and watched the bands.
Any good bands?
They said that they were celebrating their 30th year anniversary, and I was surprised. So no. They did do what's that one ska song everybody loves? Knock on Wood. They did Knock on Wood.
Okay. I was trying to think of the name of
The
it. I knew
Bostons.
exactly what song you were talking about.
Yeah,
and I
the
just couldn't.
Bostons.
I know more of the lyrics to the song.
Oh, they also did Must Be
What?
Loved by Madness, but
Ah,
they did do a couple of scary things, but they played that one song and it went off. Of course.
Of course. It's called The Impression That I Get. That's what it's called.
At this stage, the reshaping of the panel is
remembered,
nearly
finally.
complete. The hammer and the dolly are now used to tap in any high spots or bring out low spots prior to sanding and filling. It's almost impossible
I
to
wish
finish
more
repairs such
instructional
as this
videos had the
perfectly.
quiet bits
The
where
aim
they
is to
just
get it
kind of
close
do it.
enough to the optimum shape, and then
Yeah.
leave just a thin coat of body filler on the panel after final sanding.
All you really have to add to this is intermittent bits of like people arguing with each other and acting really cocky, and you have a reality show, like a modern day reality show.
Oh, Repair Shop and stuff.
But that would be it, yeah.
I like Repair Shop, and I know it's bullshit.
I don't know.
reality
I don't
TV,
have,
but
wouldn't have watched that exact one, but
yeah. Oh, they just do a people bring their old antiques and then give a sob story about why they're broken.
Oh, okay.
So there's the reality TV part, but then they fix it and it's lovely.
As
I
you
like that
work,
bit.
keep offering up the new
Fast forward
parts
through
to
the
check
stories.
the accuracy of the shape you're developing.
Just fix the thing.
I always liked Monster Garage,
Once you
where they
achieve
like
the rough shape,
took a bus
it's
and
time
turned it
to
into a
weld up
boat
any
and
splits
things
in
like
the
that.
middle.
That was always the best.
Oh, they
The
had the
panel must
Monster
be
Garage
held as
Wars
rigidly
at
as
the end as
possible
well. They had a
before you
separate
tap it
show
into
where
its
they
final
had two
shape with a
teams
hammer
build
and
things
Oh
against each other.
yeah, that was a good show too.
Yeah, or is it Junkyard Wars or something?
That might have been
Yeah.
Junkyard Wars. I can't remember. Either
When
way,
welding
yeah,
a strong
that was
section,
cool.
such as this, don't worry about heat warpage.
And then of
or
course,
the need
Pit
to
My
cool the
Ride was
panel.
always fun.
All those shows, like I know that the bits that are annoying are funny if you get past it and just kind of like it ironically.
Turn your brain off, yeah.
Turn your brain off, but they just would still be cool watching shows if you edited all that shit out.
Less people would watch for sure.
Yeah,
At this
Like
stage,
so much
the
less.
reshaping of the
'Cause
panel
all
is
people really
nearly
want is the
complete.
drama.
The hammer and the dolly are now
Edit
used
those
to
bits
tap in
out,
any
though.
high spots or bring out low
Yeah,
spots
have two
prior to
versions of the
sanding and
show.
filling. It's almost
The
impossible to
reality
finish a report
version
such
and the
as this
reality
perfectly.
version.
The aim is to get it close enough to the optimum shape and then leave just
Close
a
enough.
thin coat of body filler on the panel after final sanding.
this car seems like it's rooted, to be honest.
We have
Look
now
at the rust.
formed the approximate shape.
That's what we're
The center
fixing
line is
today.
in the right position,
Like we just
and the
learned how to
parts
fix
are
the
fitting
rust.
well.
That was
Yeah.
the first part.
I hate it. This seems like way too much. This is a hobby
The
thing.
panel is now ready for sanding, filling, and finishing off.
This isn't fixing a dent in your
Use
car
the
because you
disc
had it
sander
accidentally
exactly
dented. This
the
is
same
a
way as
hobby
described
thing.
earlier.
Hmm.
Sand an area well away from the repair
Yeah.
with the same theory in mind. Avoid
Like
trying to
in-house
localize the
restorations
repair.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Or it could be used in like training.
Yeah.
You know, like TAFE or something.
The TAFE car. It's seen some days.
Yeah, that's right. Every year we rusted that little bit more.
That's the graduation party. After you've fixed it all, you get to smash it up for the next guys to fix. Perfect.
To be fair, that's a good idea.
Why don't we teach schools?
Well, I'm not smart
When
enough. I don't know
filling
about
this
you,
type of
but I'm not
repair,
smart
as
enough.
before,
Well, we can just
don't
do
localize.
executive producing and tell them how to do it.
Deliberately and work
Can't
it into
afford
all
to
the
executive
contours.
produce anything.
It will ultimately make the
Damn
work
it.
more quicker and
It'd
easier.
be fun though.
Somebody pay me for my dumb ideas.
I know. I wish the same would happen to me. Just give me money. I have so many things that I would do if I had a budget.
And none of them would be beneficial to my wealth.
No, absolutely not. But that would be the point of having a budget. Is I get to spend things on things.
Fucking artists.
I mean, that would be the difference between someone like you and me versus like someone moving to Hollywood.
Yeah.
We just want to do stuff.
After approximately
They're like,
15
I
minutes,
want
the
to
filler
get
is
famous
hard
and
enough
make
to
money.
work. Use
And
a
we're like,
corner file to
wouldn't it be
further
cool if
shape
we could
the
just do
repair
things?
prior to sanding. Pull the file towards you rather than pushing it.
Oh. Cool, not
And with a
push.
budget, you can pay people to pretend to care.
That's right. They call test audiences.
And cast and crew.
Oh yeah. Forgotten that part too. Yeah, fair enough. I'm paying you to share my vision.
That's right.
Using
It's not
the
really
same technique
sharing
with the
then,
flat
is it? It's
file.
more of
Shape the flatter
True.
part of the panel and the nose
Yeah,
of
but
the
I mean, they're getting paid, so
And
it's not
once again,
forced.
It'd be
feel the
waste.
They don't have to
check
accept the
contour
job.
until
Oh,
it
yeah.
matches the original body
just
line.
like those contractors.
Exactly. They knew what they were getting into. They knew the risks.
Well, he's still
Shaping is an acquired
Filing
art,
and shaping.
but
I
with
think this
patience
video is
and
going to
common
be enough,
sense,
and the others were
you
just
can
show and tell
achieve
for
a
today.
professional result.
Yeah, I get. This definitely has the vibes of a very long video.
I need to research who Joe Kelly is before we actually watch it, actually. Because it says featuring her. And when I watched it, she was wearing this weird leotard bodysuit, so
Cool.
be interesting to see where she ended up. This one's not worth watching.
Yeah, you mentioned.
It's just loud noises the whole time. I wanted some like previews for other loud noises or something like that. Nope, just loud noises. The
Or
whole way
even
through.
just like a voiceover that's like,
Oh,
uh-oh, here it comes. There's gonna be a crash.
so there's a little bit of documentary over voicing at the start, but
When you
only for
finish
like the first
sanding
5
the
minutes,
first
and it's
coat
not
of
even
filler,
interesting.
You'll inevitably find
It's just like
pinholes and
they get
maybe
their
a high spot
cars
of
and
metal
drive
to
them
tap
every
back.
year. Look at them go.
This is the last
Yeah,
point
that's it.
where adjustments can be made to your repair before the last coat of filler and the final sanding.
Ah,
Shit. Jerry!
When filling this type of repair, as before, don't localize. Use the filler
when I went and
liberally
visited
and
the
work it into all the
bomber
contours.
down the road here.
What's that, sorry?
When I went and visited the bomber down the road here, the airplane and
Yeah.
whatever, it had like a whole bunch of old people just doing this shit. To all little
really?
parts of the plane. Yeah, they're all just sitting there tinkering with like tiny little things. I'm like, this is a giant
A
plane,
dent in the
and
middle
you've got to
of the
fix
panel
all those little
requires a
things.
flipper and dolly to shape
That
the
explains why they've been working on it
You
for
can see it more
fucking
clearly on this
years now.
cross-section
Like, it's
of
been
another
well
car
over 2
with the
decades,
same
I would
type
say.
of dent.
Yeah, if you want to go in and look, it costs you $10.
A dent
But I
like this
definitely
usually
wanted to
leads
go
to
in and
slightly
look.
higher
I want to
risk
go
around
in
the
and look
dent.
sometime, for sure.
It should not be beaten out with a hammer.
They've got a
and
little
dolly, or the metal will strip.
museum there too. I was thinking about taking like a,
If
a
there
set
is a
of
ridge,
local
it should be
videos
tapped
down,
down
if they
just
weren't.
level with the panel surface.
And
The
like have a
center is
little
then pimpled
take
out
time
with the
clock.
sharp edge of a heel dolly. Then the flipper is
That would be
used
cool.
to knock in
Yeah.
the higher metal and bring out the lower part without stretching the metal.
Well, if we find
This is
anything
the
Lara
method for
based,
any
you've got a
dents
Lara
at
museum
large
down the road
almost
as well.
panels.
True. I
We
doubt
can
it's
get
going
a-
to happen, but
Get a little Lara
if
plaque.
there was
Applying
nothing
the
in
same
that
method on
bunch
this
of tapes you
repair,
got from the
you can
church,
see the panel
I
stays
doubt we're
tight,
going to get much.
while it just
Well,
takes
we
a
do
few
have the
seconds to beat it flat.
Wakakari.
The
True.
sanding and body
Thing
filling
in.
procedures are the
True.
same
Really
again.
wanted it.
Don't forget to keep
I
feeling the
doubt
repair
it.
as you
Lara
work.
Prime might be more
You really
interested in
need
that,
to develop that sense of feel.
but I'm absolutely not sending Jackson there, so... Sounds like Jackson playing with his toys.
Looks like you're gonna have to build a shed
We've got one.
and set up a little beating panel thingy, panel beating thing, with like little plastic car that he can lift up and tinker with.
Yeah. Look. That's what he wants to do with his life. I just go for it, my boy. Just do what you want. I get the feeling he's not going to be much of a gamer. This is exactly that kind of a lesson, Ditto.
Yeah, he said use a dusk mask, but absolutely no ear protection
Yeah,
mentioned
no
in this
mention
video
of that.
so far.
The
Yeah.
sanding and body filling procedures are the
And
same
if
again.
you want to talk about it,
Don't forget to keep feeling
videos
your
that make
repair as you
so
work.
Grandpa can't
You
hear,
really
he better
need
not
to
have
develop
ever
that
gone to
sense of
Nitro
feeling.
Funny Cars, because oof, that's loud.
I mean, it's possible in the posture up. I don't know what he's going to do. He's so good at everything
Use the
except
filler
for talking.
liberally and work it
So-
into all the contours.
He's probably going to be, I don't
It
know,
will
a politician
ultimately
maybe?
Make the job a lot quicker and
Yeah, I
easier.
don't know. I'm making shit up now.
After approximately 15 minutes, the filler is hard enough to work.
I get the feeling. I didn't realize that he'd been outside when we slept the door. No? Yeah. Why is there a fly in here then? Earplugs. I never wear them.
Okay, so we've finished our repair.
This guy
Now
looks
it's time to
exhausted.
repair and paint our job. Here's the materials you'll need.
He's just
We
finished
need a
sanding
can
with
of
his
primer,
hand.
Colour and clear acrylic.
For
A
6
spray
days.
putty gun will save some time during this process, but if you haven't got
It's a
one,
harder, longer
you can
job,
use
but the
dot putty
finish
applied
is
by
noticeably
hand.
different.
You'll need roughly twice as much all-purpose acrylic thinner as the other materials, and dry rubbing paper of
why?
various abrasive grades.
Why am I doing this
Also,
with my
follow either
life?
wet or dry for wet rubbing.
least he
the
gets to
finished
wear
paint
a
job
Yakka one
prior to
piece.
cutting
I
and
could have
polishing.
been a star.
Almost any type of gravity feed or suction cup spray
I had
gun
to
is
wear a
suitable.
Yakka one piece when
The
I
suction
was
cup
the
types are
cemetery
relatively inexpensive.
person.
Remember,
that?
correct gun
I had to wear a
control and
Yakka
technique
one
is
piece
more
when I
important
was
than
a
Oh.
expensive
cemetery
equipment.
cleaning rapid
The
person,
radically noticeable
whatever they
difference
called me.
between these guns
Groundskeeper.
is that one has an air volume control and one hasn't. As mentioned earlier, a spray putty gun is very handy.
It was
if
the
you don't
only
have
downside
one,
to the job.
spot putty applied by hand does the same job.
I wanted it
An
in
orbital
black.
sander is a very useful tool, but again, hand sanding works just as well.
Jerks. Not
I
them.
say that
Wax
wearing a
and
blue
grease
shirt
remover
today.
is essential.
I mean,
You must
don't
keep
mention
your
my
job
matching
clean and free
panties.
from
You
contaminants
know.
if you are to create a first-class finish.
tastes change over time.
Before you make the attempt to paint,
Ah!
don't forget one of these, a respirator. It's very important for your health.
It's a Shaw SM57 poking
Be
outside of
sure to
this
stir the paint
screen.
thoroughly.
That is
Pigments
not
have
the
a tendency
recording
to
mic for
separate and
video,
settle on
that's
the
for
bottom
sure.
of the can.
How punk.
The mixing
I mean, you
ratio
could fucking hear
for acrylic
that.
is approximately 40%
I could hear the
paint
room.
and 60% finish.
I could hear the camera
Some colours
recording.
need to be thinned slightly more or less. It also depends on the
Yeah,
temperature
that
of your
sound, that's the
working
sound of the
area.
tape clicking over.
Ideally,
I mean,
this
we
will
get
be
that
at
stuff
least
all the time,
25
but we don't
degrees
get a
Celsius.
budget.
In any case, make the 40-60 ratio your starting point and add
40-60
more or less paint or
ratio.
thinner
What are we
as
making?
necessary.
Hamburger?
If in doubt, refer to the manufacturer's label. The fan and trigger adjustment controls are almost always
So what
in
is
the same
paint gonna
position
do?
on any spray gun. The
Thins
top
the
control
paint.
widens or narrows the pattern of fluid exiting the nozzle. The lower control is the trigger adjustment, which regulates the amount of fluid coming through the
Because
nozzle.
I think like pure paint is just too
Practice
thick.
adjusting both these controls.
Yeah,
and
they
also
sell it
your
in
gun control
concentrate, like your
technique on some
dishwashing
spare
liquid.
board
And so when
or
it,
another
like,
panel.
would get sprayed
Apply
out,
the
it
paint in
wouldn't
even,
look
slightly
smooth.
overlapping
Oh
strokes,
god, you can't go
approximately 30
air
centimeters
pressure
from the surface.
painting. What is it?
Keep the
Airbrushing
same
with
distance for the whole length of the
respirators
stroke.
on?
Yes, you
If
can.
your gun
It's
so
has
just
an
bad
straight
for
air
your
into
filter on the base
lungs.
of the handle, it makes it
What
easier
other
to
things
set
do you
your
think
air
we could,
pressure
like,
at about
load into that?
35 pounds per square inch or 242
Um,
kPa.
Definitely some
The
kind of
ideal
poison
fan
spray.
pattern is
Anything
as wide as
liquid?
possible,
Yeah,
but with an
I
even
reckon.
paint coverage through the whole width of the fan. Screw the
Maybe
fan
even like
control all
tomato
the way in,
sauce.
the pattern is too narrow.
Oh.
Unscrew it
What's his
slightly
name?
and the
Pollock?
pattern widens. Approximately 2/3 of the way out, you'll find the ideal setting.
Ooh.
Keep
He's doing a
practicing your spraying
lovely
technique until you achieve an
beach
even
scene.
coverage of paint without runs.
That paint's not
The
cheap, dude.
basic method for applying
No,
paint
he's-
is
he's
the
doing
same
art.
whether you're using
Stop
plain
wasting
or
it.
metallic colors. However, some metallics tend to mottle when being applied. This can be minimized by holding slightly further back from the panel and applying a couple of quick diagonal coats. First one way, then the other.
It's a big shadow
This
monster
evens out
standing in the
metal
outback.
particles, resulting in a consistent finish.
All sealed. No one's
Do you reckon
changing
that the
his own.
fumes ditto went straight to his brain?
Let's go back to the first panel job. It's now ready to prepare for painting.
Wee.
The first job is to feather the paint edges.
Didn't we just move that
The
out?
picture on the right is the unprepared rough paint edge. The picture on the left is the ideal feathered edge. To achieve this result, you'll require 150 grade rubbing paper.
Hey, I used to
And
have
one
one
you
of those
use
in
an
like a
orbital
picture
sander
frame.
or
You
by
turn it
hand,
upside
do
down.
a thorough
And it
job.
would all change.
If any scratches or bare paint edges are left, the first primer coat will tend to bubble these edges away from the panel, requiring more work. Then quickly sand over the filler to remove the deeper scratches.
I don't think this is what was wrong with my car though.
Next,
Are you sure?
let's mask the repair
No.
off with paper.
And
If
that's
you're
why
using
I'm not doing
newspaper,
it.
double the edges over about 7 or 8 centimeters to
Quick,
safeguard
zoom in on
against
today's
paint
news.
soaking through.
What's the classifieds? Oh,
Cover a wide area around the
Oh,
repair and
what
do
was
it
for
neatly.
sale?
Tape loose edges that could trap dust or
bunch
it will
of
blow
ladies
out during painting
texting
and
numbers that
ruin your
cost
job.
$5 out of text.
If your car has a center
Oh, wait,
molding,
this is like the
use
90s or
this
something.
as your masking
They'd just
line.
be
This avoids having
1-900
to
numbers.
blend the paintwork across the whole door.
I found an ad for a 1-900 sexy call number recently that didn't even
Before
have
applying
any
the
kind
paint,
of
a thin coat of primer is
branding or
required
anything
give the
to it.
putty
It was
adhesion.
just a number on a screen with a
Primer,
girl
mixed
dancing.
at approximately
Oh, I
50%
mean, that's
primer,
branding.
50%
Yeah, but I mean like
or according
nothing I
to
could type in
manufacturer's
to like
specifications.
call it something.
There's no need to pry
Yeah,
this panel
I get
right
what
up
you
to the
mean.
molding.
So I
That
rang
will
it,
create an
and
unnecessary
just
no one
buildup of
was
material
there.
over the already painted surface.
I ring most of the numbers and there's never any.
1 hour later.
Cool. I actually wanted to see it dry, damn it.
Let it dry for about
There's
an
enough
hour.
tape in there, they
Then
could
apply
have.
2 coats of putty.
Man, that'd be a nice name for a show. Enough tape.
Maybe we should have called this Enough Tape instead of Obscure Tape Tongue.
Enough tape with Andrew Denton. You think we're allowed to call it that?
Yeah.
Cool.
He'd come on the show.
He would.
He's a strange man, and I like that about him.
The only problem with that is he'd probably bring Mick Malloy.
I like Mick Malloy.
Yeah, but you don't want him to bring him.
Yes, I do.
Don't.
2
No, I
hours
like
later.
watching the
At least 2
painting
hours
bit.
between putty coats.
I love the fact that it slows down every now and then.
Wouldn't it be great though if Bob Ross did just come out here?
Otherwise,
And started
do it
painting
by
a scene.
hand.
Yeah, and just started painting a scene on.
Applying hand putty may be an art you wish to
You know, there are no
perfect.
mistakes, just happy
It should be
accidents.
applied with a plastic applicator in a similar method to the body filler. However,
Plastic
you must work
applicator.
fast, as this material
Plasticator.
dries quickly on the surface and is inclined to lift up again if you work over a section that has already been covered.
Shit. Hurry up! Hurry up! It's gonna dry! Time is of the essence, nerd! Oh, he's so slow, he's gonna ruin it. Fire this guy. No, fucked. It's fucked. It's ruined.
He's just making
Not
the
ruined.
land scene.
Ruined.
Use that as the focus of our painting.
Yeah, they just said he had to do it quickly. I'm saying he's going too slow for my liking.
Yeah.
The very
Now
next
that's
day.
too slow. He's still going. Look.
They said it dried quickly, so why did he wait a whole fucking day?
Then
'Cause that's
leave
quickly.
overnight before sanding with a 150
This is
grain
the
paper
90s.
on a rubber sanding block.
Sheesh. That wasn't even a here's one we prepared earlier. It's literally just like,
They let the cameras roll.
he's a very religious man, you see. He doesn't believe in it. He doesn't
We're
believe
now
in
getting
divorce.
close to making or breaking the job.
Wait, what?
It's vital to keep your concentration and use the.
You mean we
rubbing
can
block
still
flat on
fuck
the
this
surface
up?
of the panel.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just do it carefully by hand. There we go. Nice and smooth. Whoa.
Yeah, you missed a spot.
Now just shove the plastic thing along the sides.
Then a light sand with a 240 grade paper over the whole work area.
Make sure you read your
From this
sandpaper
point on,
before you
there's
use it.
no more need for a sanding block or orbital sander. All work is now carried out by hand. Care should be taken to avoid causing an uneven surface by applying too much finger pressure on the sandpaper.
Finger pressure.
After removing the dust from the job with a clean rag, you should now have an ideal surface on which to apply your 2 coats of primer.
2 coats of primer. You got to prime it for the primer. This is about the time that you find out that you don't actually have any more of the car color left, and they don't make it anymore.
And it's also the time you realize
Make
you
these
haven't seen the
good wet
kids in
coats,
about 3
covering
weeks.
the whole area. You only
Hyperfocus,
need to
man.
wait an hour between these 2 coats, but then leave overnight
Well,
to dry.
as Ditto said, he used the divorce papers.
No, that's the undercoat, Ditto. It's the undercoat. That's priming the thing for the
Very
real color,
next
which is going to be a disgusting
They
mustard
were in the
yellow.
trunk.
Apply a very
That's
quick,
fucking
light
dark.
dyed coat of colour. Remove
That's
the
fucking
masking from the
dark.
panels either side of the repair and remask to allow for blending the colour in. Now, sand the primer with 400 grade paper. The light guide coats show us when we've
That's so
sanded
fair
every
enough to
mark
do.
out of the primer. Take a Scotch-Brite pad and scuff the painted surfaces either side of the primed area to give your new material a key to grip onto.
You can't even watch Bob Ross. Which is the most relaxing show to watch probably of all time.
If you're painting up to a body moulding like we are here, make sure you leave your
plenty of
last
other
piece of
things to
masking
watch and
loose
relax
between
to.
the end of the moulding and the guard edge.
Like me
This will
playing
help
porno
haze the
hentai
painting
games.
instead of leaving a sharp edge.
Or the backlog of obscure tape
The whole
timers.
area to be painted should now be
Ooh,
cleaned
we watched
thoroughly with
this.
wax and grease remover. Apply liberally and dry off immediately.
That's
with a
part of the
clean
fun,
rag
Ditto. You
before
gotta
the
try and
solution
guess
has time
where
to
the
dry.
next happy little bush is going. Or, you know, whether there's going to be a cabin or not.
You should now
With
have
the man
an
outside
ultra-clean,
with an
well-prepared
axe.
surface on which to apply
He only
the
very
finishing
rarely
touches.
does any depictions of people.
He's not a people person, that's why he hangs around with raccoons.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
The first coat of paint should just cover the
Here we
prepared
go.
area.
Yucky mustard
Remember
from the
to apply
70s.
the paint in long, even, slightly overlapping strokes, keeping the gun the same distance from the panel for the whole length of the stroke.
This would be the most, like, anxiety-inducing part for me. Because that first coat is clearly not going to blend it in at all, and it's going to look completely different.
And
I
you
mean,
have to leave it for...
And yeah, you have to leave it
Approximately
and...
15 minutes between each coat,
Yeah.
followed by 2 more coats, which should be blended further across the
How many
panels
coats?
each time.
How many coats were we up to?
Including, like, primer and...
By now, you
Yeah,
may think
it's about
you're almost
7.
done.
This is like the
But
6th or 7th,
beware.
yeah.
Sometimes after the first coat,
Beware.
you may find
This is where you
silicon
can really
spots
mess
or
up.
fish eyes appearing on your job. Don't despair. There is an easy way out.
Oh
A
boy.
bottle of anti-silicon drops should be included in your paint kit
Agreed,
for
ditto.
just such an emergency. 3 drops, well mixed to the spray gun, will solve the problem. But be
It will
careful when
de-solve
you
the
apply
problem.
subsequent coats, as the paint will dry slower and could run. Make sure you leave extra time between applications. With refinishing, the aim is not only to apply the materials correctly, but to match the colour
Now,
as closely as possible.
Don't
A
fucking
lot of
hit the
cars have
car
some
door
small
against the
parts, such
pole
as this petrol
again.
cap cover that can be easily removed and taken with you to the paint shop, where the staff will be quite happy to match the colour for you. After
We just stick a
approximately
sticker
30
over it.
minutes, apply 2 full wet coats of
Why
clear
not?
acrylic. Again,
Hung
leaving
on
around
some
15
flames.
minutes between each coat.
Fuck yeah. There's some
You should
racing
now leave
stripes.
at least overnight, preferably
Turn it
longer
into a
before you
Nitro Funny
unmask
car.
and finish off.
Hell yeah.
Firstly, wash off and leave the work area
Really,
as
they
wet
should
as
just
possible.
get the cover of this video
Wet
and
rubbing
put
with
that on.
1200 grade
the
wet
front.
or dry paper is of vital importance
You
to
mean
the
the
finished
cat?
job.
No, the
This
whole
is where
thing.
we
Oh.
prepare the paintwork for its glass-like final finish.
Whole thing.
The cat
It
make a
needs
nice
to be
food
done
decoration.
thoroughly with very soapy water.
Oh,
Any
cat.
dishwashing detergent will do. Work over the entire painted area, just enough to take the gloss
I
off.
was really looking forward to seeing this guy
Be
do
careful
it.
not to miss a patch.
Yeah, me
or
too.
you'll find that area will have an orange
He
peel
won't
finish
pop up at
after
some
you've cut
point.
and polished.
Well, I think this is
Still
a,
yawning. Like I just have not
Polish.
stopped yawning. I'm not even fucking
you
tired.
obviously need oxygen. Right? The
After
oxygen
wet
levels are
rubbing,
getting pretty
wash
low
the
because
panels
it's
to
getting
remove
warm.
any grit or contaminants, then chamois dry.
But I definitely agree, Ditto. It's this amount of effort. If I don't get to eat it at the end, then what's the point?
Machine buffing compound has to be watered down to quite a runny consistency.
The car
It
is
also
really a
needs to be
cake.
stirred often, especially if you have a large area to
Everything is a
buff.
cake.
The compound tends to immediately settle on the bottom of the can if left alone.
Dude.
Apply the compound. to
That
your
doesn't
hands
look
with
good.
A large brush. Set
Now
your
he is
2-speed
doing wall
sander to
magic.
Slow speed, and if you haven't bought a new Lambswool buff pad, check the one you're using. It must be clean and free from grits or in-ground paint materials, or the whole job will be ruined by scoring the surface.
And if you haven't bought a
Buff the
Lamb's wool
panels
buff
in long,
pad, what is
continuous
wrong with you?
motions. Don't stop in one spot.
We hope you fucking
Buff
fail.
the same areas
Piece
over
of
and
shit.
over until the compound has disappeared.
Do you think
You're
they have
literally
lambs?
You'll only
worse
have
than
to buff
Hitler.
the job
Do you think
twice.
they have lambs wool
Don't
buff
worry
pads
about
anywhere
taking up
else in
too
the
much
world?
for
Or do you think it's an
paintwork.
Australian
The two
thing?
coats of clear
I'd say
acrylic
there's
will
probably an
protect the
Australian
colour.
thing, but they probably export them if they're like actually good.
So whether or not they're good is dependent on whether they're sold overseas.
No,
Yeah.
because things like they could have just an equivalent overseas that does the
These
same
days it's
job.
called microfiber.
Or it might be too expensive to export, in which case they just wouldn't do it.
Or hemp.
Hell yeah, hemp.
Or recycled Coke bottles. They're making recycled Coke bottles into all sorts of comfortable things. They're doing that thing where we just watch again.
At least the music didn't stop.
Yeah, but it's changed from fun banjoleles into the type of music we hear when we go watch the old people dance.
Maybe
This
that's what's
job is
happening in the next
looking
room.
fine. All that's left before polishing is to attach the pinstripes.
Oh! We are putting stickers over
On a
it.
job like
Oh.
this,
It's got
stick one end
pinstripes.
in
Can we do
position.
the entire car in
Peel the
pinstripes or
backing
just
off.
one line?
move along, slightly stretching the stripe, and apply it in one
Don't
length.
forget to cut it where the door opens.
Then look along the stripe,
No.
making sure you follow the nearest line on the car.
There you go. They got wool buffing pads overseas too.
That's not straight. That's a bit straighter.
That'll do.
Walk back, dabbing the strike onto the panels at intervals to hold in position, before running your thumb
Open the
along
door really
and
fast.
securing the whole stripe.
Oh yeah, of course. Duh.
Take a razor-sharp knife, or for an inexperienced person, a pair of scissors, and very carefully cut the ends to the desired shape. Then peel off the excess.
I didn't go all the way to the end.
Boo!
All that's left to do is to peel off the clear protection layer and cut
Why
at the
just
door
leave the
ends.
protection layer on?
Yeah, it's for protection.
No! Oh.
A quick
you
coat
open
of
the
polish,
doors,
and this
popped.
job is finished.
More polish?
But what about finishing off our other job?
What job's that?
Pretty good so far. The last job to do is put the moulding on. I'll show you a quick and easy way to do it.
Okay.
Take care when applying body moldings. Poor alignment is very easy to spot.
Is
This
it?
method is especially useful if you have to replace the molding that was on the car when it was damaged.
I mean, even that
as
tape is
usually
not
the
at
molding will
all
be
even
slightly out of shape.
and straight. Just putting that
Use
out there.
masking tape to create a straight line. Take
Straightish.
the end of the next molding as a starting point
Whoa!
Look
It
along the
disappeared.
and follow on
Magic.
from the shape of the
I didn't
other
realize this was
moldings.
another magic tape. You should have told me.
Don't
We would've
stick
called
the
it
tape to the
magic
car.
cars.
Just let it sit there as a guide. Now peel the backing strip off the
Can't
molding.
be a real magic
Place
tape.
one
There's no
end in
eggs
position
here.
and follow the line very carefully. Straighten
He's
the molding as you
concentrating.
go.
Now this is very easy. I promise. I fucked it up.
Oh, he measured it wrong. It measures different in a straight line as to when it curves around the car body.
Fuck.
Remove the masking tape. Stick the cap on.
Oi, pick
and it's
that up.
finished.
The cap on? I'm gonna do bullet things. We don't have those anymore.
Maybe that's a good thing.
With patience
Oh, it's
and
like I
attention to
never
detail,
crashed into the
you
wall
can
of that
achieve
church.
Professional-looking body repairs.
Thanks,
that will
bye.
not only save you money, but leave you beaming with pride.
Wait, no.
That's a pea plater.
Left,
Of course,
left.
it's a fucking pea plater.
Bye.
Just a truck comes through and just takes it out. I don't think we can fix that. Oh, is that the end?
Looks like it. Hopefully there's some ads on the back for Top Cat wax and shine. What is a P? What do you mean, what is a P? Really?
Still ticking for now. Is there an episode 2? I don't think there's an episode 2.
Neither do I. I think fast forward.
Well, anything anyone wants to talk about while we wait for this?
Yeah, Ditto wants to know what a P is.
I mean, like the one in Super Mario 3 where you press it and it turns things into like coins. Turns the blocks into coins. Or the P wing that lets you just constantly fly. Oh, like that P. That's like
Oh, right. Should have known. Morons.
yeah.
Probationary license. That means that they have gotten their license, but they've only just gotten their license, and we should probably watch them a little closer. Be careful while driving around them.
Because they're probably hoons.
Yeah, which also means they're not allowed to have a full car of people. They're only allowed to have one passenger.
Unless it's family. If it's their family, they can have as many, I think.
Oh, and absolute zero on the alcohol consumption. No leeway there. So
That is true.
That's what the probationary is.
Yes.
In Victoria, we have green and red now.
That's
We used
right.
to only have the one when
I
I was
don't
learning. I don't
recall
know
what the
the differences.
difference is. Yeah, I used to know vaguely, but yeah, I just forgot.
Good to know if you ever come to Australia.
Not really.
No.
Nah. Like I know quite a few people who literally went to the States to get their license because it's easier to get it over there. So if you're in America, you wouldn't come here to get your license, so because that would be fucking pointless. It's more difficult, like way more difficult apparently.
I think I've already told the story, but I had a partner at one stage who got their license from Perth, and you're allowed to get your license 2 years younger over there. So they were driving me around to things.
If you've got a
when they were
Perth license,
16,
the cops
17.
can't do anything about it. It's completely legal.
Yep. So, I learned all about body repairs, which has got nothing to do with what's wrong with my car, but hopefully that'll just encourage the universe to fix my freaking car. Because I don't like driving the Commodore. It's too ballsy for me. Although the punk DJ, he thinks that's hilarious, and he wants me to get a picture taken in it with a wife beater before I get rid of it.
He's got a point.
Yeah,
He's
does.
got a point.
And then he spun me the "Would you like to drive my Commodore?" Geelong band punk band record.
Fuck yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're making fun of me now.
I wish I had all these Geelong records
Oh yeah,
in my collection.
you have to keep going and looking in the bargain bin for everything. No one
Yeah,
wants.
I have to know what I'm looking for though. It's really hard to like find stuff because all the places that are going to have that, there's no order to it.
Yeah, there's no.
Me finding
It's-
that Caution
it's like
Repetitive
thrifting,
one,
but
or the
without
Killbot
thrifting.
one rather, was
Yeah.
just such a fucking fluke.
Yeah, I found you a
Such a-
Geelong record though. Was it any good?
I
I
still
can't
haven't
remember.
listened to it.
Oh, okay.
I'll listen to it today
Yeah.
after I pick up my parcel from the post office.
Ooh, post office parcels. Is it something fun?
Probably not.
Oh.
Medication
Oh.
for my sleeping because I don't sleep too good. Anyway, we cutting off there?
Yeah, that's
Sounds
nearly
good.
an hour. I was surprised it actually went for longer
It-
and
it-
was actually a
It looked like it was going to be a 2-hour tape.
yeah.
It didn't look like a 45-minute one.
No, but by the actual before we unwrapped the plastic, it looked like a 20-minute one.
Yeah, it did. It doesn't look like give off the vibes of being anything other than a just hey, we have a handy cam here at this body shop.
Yeah,
Let's.
that's what I was hoping for, but I didn't want to unwrap it without you unwrapping it on stream because that's always fun.
What's up, dudes? You actually like caught the very end.
Yeah, we've done. We just watched Top Cat Body Repairs. It was in plastic still, so we had to unwrap it, and we're just about to press the button to go home.
Perhaps next week we'll do a longer one.
Maybe. I might go through some of the home stuff and see if I can find something January, February related that's not.
Shouldn't
too
be hard, right?
long.
Australian summer being a thing.
I think I might have
now.
a couple of things from then. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a short one today.
we decided that we
happens.
don't like doing it too long. We like to go the length of a tape or two if they're really short. So if there's a 2-3 hour tape, maybe, but
Yeah.
hours kind of fine. We don't need to sit around all day waiting for biddies. We're just watching tapes.
But yes, next week we'll do a longer one just for you, Dids.
Okay, I'll find
Just
something
for
long.
you.
I was sitting around watching Dids all last weekend,
Oh yeah.
streaming some crickets and some cars and some
Oh.
cartoons.
Oh, I'll click on that one and give Dids the old follow.
Yeah, Dids is a collector from Adelaide.
I am a fan.
Oh, was there a different one that wasn't body repairs? Something else?
I'd pay $10 for it.
If it's closer to Dids, pay $10 for it and send it to him.
True.
Oh, now I want that reply before we press the goodbye button. Put
Yeah,
us in full.
we'll wait. We'll wait.
I want to know what the Top Cat tape was.
Oh, it's gone. Boo. Boo whoever that is, unless it's someone cool that we know.
Yeah, someone better cap it. Because I need some easy step-by-step something else for beginners.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright.
Well, let's get out of here. I gotta go to the post office.
Yeah. Alright. Tune in next time to avoid late fees.
It's been fun. Goodbye, friends.